With the NBA Summer League going on right now and finally getting the chance to see the top picks on the court, today I want to talk about how they've all performed. We're going to kick things off with the very last selection of the lottery, the 14th overall pick in the draft by the Cavaliers, Ochai Agbaji. After a senior season at Kansas, Agbaji was one of the best two-way wings in the country. The expectation coming into the draft that he was a very low-risk, ready-to-compete prospect. I loved him going to the Cavaliers with how he fit with Darius Garland. While the expectation is for him to mostly be an off-ball player, I was interested to see how he performed in the Summer League in a more primary role. Through 4 games, I would have to say he's been really solid. He's averaging 15 points a game, shooting 37% from the field, but that's a little deceiving. 75% of his attempts are coming from outside, where he's shooting 38%. The Cavaliers drafted him to be a reliable 3-and-D wing, with the upside to potentially be more than that. I think based on what we've seen so far, that's what they've got. Then we've got the 13th overall pick in the draft by the Hornets and eventually landed in the hands of the Detroit Pistons, Jalen Duren. So far, Duren hasn't been jaw-dropping, but far from disappointing. He played in 3 games, averaged 11 points and 3 rebounds. I think the biggest surprise regarding him in the Summer League is his passing. He threw some really impressive dimes from out of the post, which got Pistons fans hoping they just got the next Bam Adebayo. While those hopes are a little bold right now, considering that Duren is one of the youngest players in the entire class, I think he has a great chance to be a foundational piece of this very promising young core being built in Detroit. Then we've got the 12th overall pick, the third of the Oklahoma City Thunder's 3 lottery selections, where they took Jalen Williams. Now, Williams really interested me coming into the Summer League. We knew about the wingspan and the crazy vertical that helped him shoot up the board late in the draft process, but coming out of a small program in Santa Clara, we didn't know how quickly he would adjust to the NBA level, or whatever level you want to call the NBA Summer League. So far, I would have to say that he's exceeded most expectations. In the games he played in Utah, he averaged 13 points, shooting 55% from the field. In the 3 games in Las Vegas, he's averaged 11 points, shooting 50% from the field. There's no question he has the tools. He seems just as comfortable on the ball as off. Once he can prove to be a reliable threat from outside, I really think the Thunder might have something special. 11 was the second of the Thunder's lottery picks, French forward Ousmane Dieng. In his 3 games in Utah, he averaged 7 points, shooting just 26% from the field. So far in Las Vegas, it's been a little better, averaging 11 points, shooting 45% from the field. Now, he's kind of been what I expected. He's extremely raw, but has shown a lot of skill with the ball in his hands, given his size. It's hard to be sold on him just yet. I think we really gotta wait and see. The 10th overall pick in the draft belonged to the Washington Wizards, and they decided to go with breakout sophomore guard out of Wisconsin, Johnny Davis. Now, we have to be honest here. Davis hasn't looked too great so far. Through his few games, he's averaged just 8 points, shooting just 28% from the field. He's really struggled to find a rhythm and create space, but I want to make it clear that this video is not about how good a player is going to be in the future. As we saw in the last video, some of the best players in the league struggled to get things going in the Summer League, but we have to call it how it is, and so far, it hasn't been a great start for Davis. Then we've got the 10th overall pick, where the San Antonio Spurs decided to go with Baylor glue guy Jeremy Sochan. I was excited to see him on the NBA stage, but sadly, he tested positive following the draft, and the Spurs decided to hold him out of the Summer League. We're going to have to wait a few months to see him on the court again. The 8th overall pick belonged to the Pelicans, and they went with Australian point guard Dyson Daniels. Now, I think it's safe to say the immediate expectations for Daniels, especially as a scorer, are not that high. It's his defense, his playmaking, and newly elite size that carried his stock leading up to the draft. I really thought that the Summer League would be a great testing ground for Daniels, but after missing 5 shots in the first 8 minutes of his NBA career, he suffered an ankle injury that shut him down for the rest of the Summer League. In a very similar situation, we've got Shaedon Sharpe. Really, aside from the guys that went inside the top 3, I was probably the most excited to see Sharpe. He was the mystery of the draft. He was a top-ranked player in high school, but we never got to see him on the college court. I was really hoping we were in store for one of those, oh man, all the teams ahead of him effed up situations, but after just over 5 minutes and 3 shots, making one of them, he also suffered an injury that knocked him out for the rest of Summer League. Just given the situation he's in, going to Portland, I really hope he can surprise a lot of people next season. Then we've got the 6th overall pick in the draft by the Indiana Pacers, Benedict Mathurin. Now, on draft night, I really thought Sharpe was the pick here, just with the rebuild the Pacers appear to be stepping into, but with what we've seen in the Summer League, I think the Pacers and Pacers fans are more than happy with their decision. He's easily been one of the most impressive shot creators and players overall out of the entire Summer League. He's averaged 19 points, shooting 49% from the field and 39% from 3. I actually just got back from the Vegas Summer League, and I have to say, I loved what I saw from him. There were very few players that were able to get off that good of looks that easily. I really think he might be the perfect pairing to Tyrese and Duarte. The Pacers are sneakily becoming a very interesting team to pay attention to. The 5th overall pick was in the hands of the Pistons, who most people, including myself, deemed massive winners after being able to draft Jaden Ivey, and well, shocker, he's looked really good. Not only was his production in the 2 games he played really solid, averaging 15 points and 4 assists on 50-50 splits averaging just 18 minutes a game, but he passed the eye test with flying colors. I think it's safe to say he's coming in as one of the quickest players in the entire league with the ball in his hands, something that could play off their top pick from a year ago, Cade Cunningham, beautifully. Cade thrives when he's able to slow the game down and control the pace. Ivy, on the other hand, is controlled chaos. It should be a lot of fun. Then we've got the 4th pick, and oh man, I hate having to do this as most of the time we're doing the exact opposite, but we need to apologize to the Kings. Not that I'm completely sold they made the right pick, taking Keegan Murray over Jaden Ivey, but man, is this kid gonna be good. In his 3 games in Vegas, he's averaging 24 points, shooting 48% from the field and 38% from 3. In the Utah Summer League, he was averaging 20 points and 8 rebounds on 51-44 splits. Insane. But the stats don't even tell the full story. While he's shooting with crazy efficiency from 3, he's also shooting with crazy volume. I got a chance to see him a couple times in Vegas, and he's just not afraid to test his ability. He attempted multiple threes off the dribble, but the big thing that could really make him one of the top players from this class is his defense. His coordination allows him to guard almost anyone on the court. For most of the Kings' outing against the Pacers, he was matching up with Mathurin. That's the kind of versatility the NBA is searching for right now. He really might be a dark horse for Rookie of the Year. So wow, the Kings have something to get excited about. Let's just hope they don't trade him in the middle of his 2nd season for a player with 2 years left on their deal when it's clear they're still years away from competing. Then we've got the 3rd overall pick that most thought would go number 1 for most of the draft process, Jabari Smith. Now he's looked really solid defensively, but he struggled to get it going on offense. Right now, he's primarily an off-ball player, which I think makes it a little harder to build momentum in a setting like this. He's averaged 15 points and 9 rebounds, shooting 40% from the field and 26% from 3. But if there's one thing I don't think we should worry about one bit when it comes to Smith, it's his shooting. I think he's going to be just fine. It just hasn't been the best start, at least offensively. Then we've got the 2nd overall pick in the draft, Chet Holmgren. Yes, I know, I jumped the gun a little bit after his first game. I couldn't help it. I'm a Thunder fan. I was in shock. Now that's not to say I'm not still extremely impressed with what he's done. He averaged 17, 10, 4, and 4, shooting 50% from the field and 40% from 3 in Utah. He's averaged 12 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 blocks, shooting 46% from the field and 42% from 3 in Vegas. Now, the big thing that everyone wants to talk about is the few possessions that Chet got bodied by Kenneth Lofton, and yes, that happened. Elite strength is not a part of his game just yet, but everyone's going a little too far with this, bringing up guys like Joel Embiid. Newsflash, Joel Embiid bodies everyone. Aside from that one series of events, I've loved what I've seen. Whether it's his shooting on the perimeter, his skill taking the ball down the court, or his ability as a shot creator. He's looked great, and honestly, I'm not sure what it is, but these Summer League refs have been doing him dirty. But I guess that's why they're Summer League refs. I mean, they let Richard Jefferson in. That's saying a lot. Then lastly, we've got the number 1 overall pick in the draft, Paolo Banchero. After Chet's debut, the expectations for Paolo became extremely high, and for the most part, I think he's looked the part. He's averaged 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 5 assists, shooting 50% from 3 in his 2 Summer League outings. He showed off some really impressive shot creation, both on the perimeter and back to the basket. There's no question he's a freak, given his size, strength, and point forward ability that was on full display. I talked about it a lot in the pre-draft process, but as the season went on at Duke, he really took on more and more ball handling duties, where he really started to thrive as a playmaker. I think it's safe to say that's going to be a huge part of his game, and as of right now, there's no reason to believe the Magic regret their decision one bit. I really think if anyone from this class has that top 5 All-NBA first team upside, it is Paolo. But that's the end video, guys. I'm having a lot of fun talking about the Summer League. If you guys want to see a new video tomorrow, smash the like button, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.